Probably doing. Right, okay. 3, 2, 1. Clap. Hello, mate. You alright?
Am I okay?
Yeah.
Where do I start? Yes, I am.
Good.
Yeah.
A busy week, mate. It's been a very busy week for both of us.
We say that week in, week out, don't we? Busy week. We should actually make something up. The next podcast, we should just make up these incredible adventures that we went on.
Well, technically, I did have an adventure.
You did, didn't you? You went somewhere outside of Sydney.
Batesman's Bay. That was through work. And so what happened was I got this little story I'm going to tell, and it was I saw a possum.
Oh, yeah.
So I filmed it, right? I walked up to it. It was on the path. I filmed it, and I'm walking up to it going, hello, mate. Oh, look at you. Oh, look at you out in the wild. Don't attack me. Don't do this. Sent it to Tarn. And then next morning, Tarn phoned me up. She went, what was that possum? I go, well, it was on the path. I go, it'd be amazing if it... Oh, it's dead. It's not the fact that the possum has died. It was the fact I was like, oh, where? I was dead. And that was it. And then, of course, Chloe was looking. And I was like, oh, no, we don't need to look at that. Yeah. So, great start to the podcast.
Dead Possums. Title, Dead Possums.
But that's what happened. I was away and I did
away.
that, mate.
Okay.
So
yeah, always, it's always good to get out and about, isn't it?
Yeah.
I keep thinking of going to the Blue Mountains for a day trip.
We keep talking about that.
Yeah. Well, there's someone I'd like to interview on the podcast, someone who's really a really interesting guest, and he's a good friend of mine. But that's right, we'll get there eventually.
Cool.
Yeah. So what's been happening apart from travelling and possums?
That's it, mate. Really, I'll be honest with you. I'm just trying to think.
Okay, that's it.
That's it. End of the podcast.
Right.
Thank you for coming. No, mate, that's not a lot has happened. I'll be honest with you. I've even been looking at Oasis tickets. No, that's yours. This is mine. I've even been still.
I thought we talked about this. It's gone, buried. That's it.
But I'm still looking at resale. I'm still looking.
Oh dear, this is where this ticket scammers come into play. You see, this is.
But no, nothing. That's been the main crux of the week. What about you? What have you been up to?
Yeah, busy at work. Interested in a lot of the things that have been happening in the football world.
Yep.
So one of the first things I noticed was 3 Auckland FC signings.
Ooh, okay.
So a trio had been signed. So I'll just go over them because it was interesting. Because
Stop.
No.
There's a reason why I said this.
No.
Right. I want to talk about something beforehand.
Right, okay.
You've got an absolutely stunning top on, and you need to talk about that first. You do.
Well, the theme today was black and white. Black and white. You'll be wearing white, I'll be wearing black. When I realised the only black top I have is this one. This is from a couple of seasons ago. This is Sydney FC. I call it the Sunset badge.
I like it. It's a beautiful top.
Nice, it's got the star logo, no, it's my favourite black top because it's the only one I've got.
Yeah,
only black top at the moment, and and it's a Sydney FC top. Obviously, we live in Sydney. I signed up for an Auckland FC group on Facebook, and I had to answer a question: who will you be supporting this season 24-25? And I put, of course, Auckland FC.
Yeah.
So I said, I'll be supporting them this season, but it's not this season
yet. Imagine how many put down Wellington. You imagine how many people put down Wellington.
They wouldn't get access to the group. So I thought I better wear this shirt before the season starts because then I will be not honouring my pledge to Auckland FC. So don't worry, guys. On the 19th of October, it's a different colour.
We're coming down, aren't we? We're coming down to watch them.
Coming down.
Oh, well, technically come down, going up, going right, going left.
Right, it depends where you're coming from.
Exactly.
Are you talking about the first game of the season, or are you talking about...
MacArthur, isn't it? We're going out there.
Right, that's out there is the city, Moore Park, because it's a Unite round, and basically teams come and play at the Allianz Stadium. So on that day, on the 24th of November, which is a Sunday, the game before the Auckland MacArthur game is the Wellington Phoenix versus Melbourne Victory.
Okay, cool.
So that's the first, and then followed by Auckland MacArthur. So yes, we'll be. We hope to be there in the capacity of press. We'll find out. And we just want to.
When you say press, I think press.
You can be the cameraman. I'll be asking the questions, and basically interviewing some Auckland FC fans and their hopes for the new season. If we are brave enough, we might all interview some Wellington fans as well. Phoenix fans, why not?
Yeah.
So what do you think of Auckland? I mean, you want to get the low down and high down.
Yes.
So we're going to be doing that, and so I thought I'd wear this before the October the 19th.
Just get it in.
And like I was saying, if you'll allow me to continue,
you can carry on now.
Auckland have signed three more players, should I say? So they are Felipe Gallegos. Felipe Gallegos is a 32-year-old former Chilean under 20 international. He's got 3 Chilean championships, and a Mexican Super Cup, a Mexican Cup, and a Copa Sudamericana.
See.
So he's used to winning titles. He's a midfielder. I don't know whether it's a attacking midfielder or defensive one. I don't know. We'll find out. Comes from Offi, Crete, which is the island of Crete.
Oh, okay.
Nice long thin island in the Mediterranean. So basically, he was there in 2021-22, scored 2 goals.
Okay, yeah.
Then he went back to Chile. He went back to Universidad de Chile.
Oh, yeah.
For 1 season, then came back to Offi, Crete. So so there
homesick.
You go. Homesick, but he's from Chile, so it works the other way around. Maybe he had a reverse culture shock. Auckland signed him from that team. So it's good. Nothing like a bit of European experience there.
Yeah.
Another one is the Uruguayan forward Guillermo May. Guillermo used to play for the Montevideo team Danubio, where he scored 16 goals in 1 season. Then he went to Newell's Old Boys in Argentina. Newell's Old Boys is it's a very famous club. It's based in Santa Fe in Argentina. It's the club of Marcelo Bielsa.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Pochettino. There's a lot of great players that have come from there. But unfortunately, at Newell's Old Boys, Guillermo came off the bench quite a bit and couldn't make the same impact he did at Danubio. Okay. So, he'll be looking forward to a lot more time, hopefully start in the starting 11 for Auckland FC. And then we have a Belgian midfielder, Luis Verstraete, 25-year-old, former Belgian under-21 international. And he's played for Beveren Sport Club in the Belgium's second division.
I was going to say I've never heard of them.
I've never heard of them either, so okay. I had to find out. And I said, wait a minute, this second division.
Yeah.
I
was going to say, a man of your knowledge though, when the way how you were talking so confidently, I was like, never heard of them.
He's so cross it with you. So look, it's great to get. It's actually when you announce 1 player and 2 players, when you announce 3 everyone here, it's like let's find out. So looking more and more complete every day. So I just can't wait till the 19th of October when the whole season starts. So that's three players for Auckland FC. They also released the away kit. And what are you laughing for?
Did they have they taken the size chart away?
No, they haven't. No, they've got a size chart for the home and the away kit.
Good. Or are they different? Just the way how everything has been, we put a flagpole with it.
I'll tell you why we've got flagpoles, away kits, and side charts. It's called the Volcanic kit. Guess what colour it is?
Look, red, please. Red and black.
Lava.
Yeah.
No, that's the goalkeeper, Poulsen's kit. Well, it's kind of a red-orange thing.
Yeah.
It's white. But the reason why it's called volcanic, it's got this like this lava flow, similar to Chelsea's Exxon thing, like the oil spill. But this is the volcanic one, the lava spill.
Okay. Does it look nice though?
It looks beautiful.
Okay.
I would say I prefer it than the homes to it.
Ah.
But for me, white is not my colour. So I'm not a white T-shirt, white football shirt person.
Yeah.
I did say to a few people, actually, I was on the Port website,
Yep.
the Facebook group, and I was looking at getting some merchandise, but I think the only T-shirt that the Port has, which is the Wellington, the Auckland fan group, they only got white T-shirts, and the logo is brilliant. The Port logo is like Bay 22, the Port in 2024, obviously, for the year that was founded. Only white, or so I think. So I think the last time I wore a white T-shirt was probably when I was 19. I'm not a white T-shirt.
Do you remember
guy,
the day?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Port. Look, if you get a black T-shirt, I might be interested. So what happened was they were into the sneak preview kind of thing. If you signed up to the email list, then you get a little password, and then you copy that password, go onto the website, and put the password in. Then you can see, but you only saw snippets of the of the jersey. Oh, it's just a way of trying to create interest, I suppose.
Yeah.
So luckily, I must have registered for on the Auckland FC website for updates. I don't remember doing it, and I got this thing. Hey, here's your password to see the sneak preview of the away kit. I'm thinking, okay, well, give me a password. Might as well just have a look. So
It could have been spam.
No, it wasn't spam. It was
password.
So when they eventually revealed it, the full kit a few days later.
Yeah, okay.
It looks nice. The blue and black kit is obviously the home kit. The pinstripe things as well, and other things. So that's the roundup on Auckland FC.
Okay.
And I told you about the flagpoles. They removed those. So
yes, that's good.
That's good. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Please get in contact with us. We want to know who you are. Because it's not just luck. There has to be someone looking on, going, they might be onto something here. Flagpoles. Who sends a flagpole? Yeah. So.
What's news with you,
mate? Well, I've been watching a bit of the Prem, right? There was 3 games in particular. The mighty Cherries, I was watching them. Unfortunately, we lost. The Gunners versus Spurs, North London derby.
So it was Spurs versus Gunners. I think it was that.
It's always one team, though, in
Stadium.
North London, so they're always fast. Anyway. Right. And then the last one was Glenn's team, Liverpool versus Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's go with
Glenn's team. Shall we do the Forest
let's go Forest. I've got notes, right? I don't know if anyone's realised this. It's like I've got my little grey book. My brain is useless, right? I'm putting it in now.
He's a great technical guy. This is the whole setup of the cameras, but
remembering how I do it, it changes every week. So anyway, Liverpool Forest. It was a good game, but the funny thing was, I watched the game, really thoroughly enjoyed it. The stats, I couldn't believe it. I'm going to go over the stats first of all, right? Possession, Liverpool had 69% possession, right?
Throughout the whole game or just first
throughout
half
the whole game.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Total shots, 14-5.
On target? Yeah.
I think so.
Let's say on target.
Oh, yeah, that was on. I think that was on. Do you know what, mate? I noted it down. It was after a couple of pints. Right?
Just add an extra 0 on there.
Yeah. They had 50 million shots going on, right? Passes, 604. Shot accuracy was 65% to Forest 60%. I'd say this is total shots, 14. Why have I got the same? See, this is it. I'm going to show you. I've got total shots, 14 to Liverpool, 5 to Nottingham Forest. Go down, total shots, 14 shots to 5. I've got it.
Well, you wanted to be doubly sure.
I did it twice. I'll zoom into that. I did it twice. I had a couple of pints. My apologies. On target, 5 to 3. 1-0 to Nottingham Forest away, right?
Yeah, first time in
55 years.
Wow.
Since 1969. It was amazing.
Most of us were not alive then, were we?
No. Well, we know that I never gave my hope in hell, and I actually messaged Glenn. I was like, look, mate, I've just seen the results. I've got to watch it. This is amazing. Well done. It was a good game.
Did he reply?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He did.
You said on the podcast.
But, mate, I'm not joking. It was a very good game. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But Liverpool couldn't capitalise. Forest did. Liverpool had most of the play, as we've said in the stats. It was just ridiculous. And go on, mate.
I found that I'm talking more of the second half than the first half.
Yep.
Is that whenever Forest got the ball back, they transitioned really well
quickly,
and they got into the Liverpool half. But there's an even bigger factor that came into play and why they won. Can you guess what it was?
No idea.
The colour of their shirts looks exactly like Manchester City. Light blue. Liverpool were like, oh.
They got scared. They're like, yeah.
But I just saw that transition. It was like boom, 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 out. Boom, 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 boom.
It was brilliant.
They were in Liverpool's half with 3 or 4 touches, and they were out there, and they were having a go. And then who scored the Forest goal?
I can't pronounce
Hudson-Odoi.
Yes. Right. I wrote it down, and it's not
sub.
even.
He came on as a sub.
Yeah, he did. 71st minute. It was amazing. He come on, boom. He slotted. He put it in the far post. What I remember, it was
came off the inside of the post.
Yeah. It was such a great strike. But
see, he shot, and I thought the goalkeeper had it covered because it looked from that angle.
Yeah.
He shot, and I think, the goalkeeper's gonna get it. But then it just ended up behind. There was no deflection or anything, was there? No. So I'm thinking, it's a goal, and I was actually watching it live.
Were you?
Yeah, I was watching the second half live.
Wow.
So I was messaging Glenn as well. Wow.
Did he reply? You never saw anything until half
time?
No,
he wasn't. He wasn't too hopeful. So we've still got 20 minutes left. Blah blah blah. Thinking okay.
He must have been watching it on his phone then, because if he was watching it on TV, he'd have been sat on the edge of the couch, just ping. No. No, mate. But
is that how you watch football, is it?
Yeah, because I am. I was when I was watching this, I was away in Batesman's Bay, and I just remember watching it, headphones on, right, got my phone, and then there's families, people around, and then it's like, shouting my head off, and there's these people.
Excuse me, sir, this is a family-friendly restaurant. Yeah. You please take your business elsewhere.
Yeah, literally, I was just, whoa. It was a great game. Now, the keeper, 38 minutes, nearly dropped the ball in the back of the net.
He got under his legs and he had to turn or something, and then it almost...
Yeah,
I saw that. I'm thinking that would have been so embarrassing.
That
came from across, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because he caught it and then...
Easy pick in the air.
Yeah.
Brought it down. He switched off for 2 seconds. That's all it was. He switched off.
That. It takes less than a second to switch off, and then that's it. You're punished. He's lucky.
Yeah. So
that's some games are like that. It just takes one moment of luck or bad fortune, and it changes everything.
Yep.
So,
but that was again, I can't say enough. It was a great game.
Yeah.
And there was a good bit of action there. So. But that's really about... I tell you what, there was one more thing there. 55th minute, I remember this. 55th minute, the linesman, assistant referee, flagged for offside against Forest.
Yeah.
Right?
But then he put it back again.
Yeah. He brought it down.
That's right. I remember the commentator saying, What?
What? And it's not like he went like that. He brought the flag up, and it was a good couple of seconds, and then brought it down.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was straight away, but I didn't.
No,
know.
well,
Okay.
I thought in my 2-pint head, I'm sure
2-pint head. That's a T-shirt. 2-pint head.
that's a band somewhere. 2-pint head. But so it was great action.
I know you're going to talk about North London derby now, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's
That look
go
on
for
his
it.
face. Do it again. That look.
Ready? The
Is that what North London derby looks like?
yeah, it is
Tense.
now.
It's a tense affair, isn't it?
It is. Well, actually, do you know what? For me, I'm just like, if they win, I'm like, yay. If they lose, I'm like, oh. There's not much to it anymore with me.
Yeah. Look, it's bragging rights.
Yeah.
Bragging rights.
But it's not as bad as it used to. Years ago, it was such a bad thing. And it's such a
Bad thing for what? If you lost the North London derby or
if it still is with some of these, I suppose my
Ultras,
age.
the Ultras or something,
Yeah, my
or the
age and
firm or
above.
whatever it is.
I've got a mate who, I've got a lad I know who I want to get on here, right? He's a Spurs supporter, and I remember giving him jip a few years ago, right? And I think he gave the Arsenal fans a bit of jip a few years ago, and then I gave it back.
As you do.
But then afterwards, I was like, I've got a brother who's a Spurs supporter.
They're all over the place, aren't they? There's one in New Zealand I know of. Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, I can't be bothered anymore. If they lose, if someone gives me a bit of stick, then as soon as something like this happens, I'm probably the first one to, how did they go on the other week? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I remember watching, living in Ireland. I remember I was in an Irish household. I was the only Englishman, England versus Ireland, in rugby. And they were given out to me, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And then end of the game, England won. And all I did, I just went, anyone want a cup of tea, lads? And of course, it's like,
and they were like,
it's like get thrown down by the side, right?
Oh, man.
And I just went and made everyone a cup of tea. But anyway, that's how I am now.
all right, tell us about it.
Okay, right, mate. So again, let's go to stats, right? Possession was 63%. Well, we'll say 64 to Spurs. Total shots, 15 to Spurs, 7 to Arsenal. Shot accuracy, I don't know how they work this one out, 55% to 100% Arsenal.
Ooh, 100% Arsenal shot accuracy.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen 100%.
That was Optus. That was Optus, so I'm only going on their stats. I haven't gone on any others. And yet again, a goal in the second half. Goal in the second half to win it. Late on, what was it? I wrote this down. This is great reporting.
Great reporting. I think it was in the 70th minute.
Something
who
like
scored? You at least know who scored. Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, it was Gabriel.
A header from a header. It was a powerful
corner,
header, and you had to turn it and knock it in.
Yeah, stunning. Not a lot to say apart from that. Yet again, 2 games. I said to you on the phone in the week it was 3 games, but it wasn't. It was just the one. It was the 2 games that had second half possession was the losing. The main crux of the possession was the losing team.
Side.
Yeah,
but that's not unusual. That's not unusual. It's it's taking your chances, isn't it? You can have all the best stats, but the stats that matter is the end result. You know, the goals in the back of the net. You know what I mean? So, Solanke almost scored. He was very close a couple of times.
Very good, mate. He did.
It's just easing it. And Spurs fans, if you're concerned about Solanke, don't worry. It took a long time for him to get a couple of goals in against Leicester towards the end of the season when we were already pretty much relegated in 2020. But he got there eventually, so I think he will be a lot quicker to score his first few goals. I guess who's going to score the first goal? Is it going to be Solanke or is it going to be Evanilson for Bournemouth? So see who scores the first.
Yeah,
trying to get this. Come on, Solanke or Evanilson? who's going to score first? So
he'll want to. He'll want to.
Oh, both of them will want to.
Yeah.
But I think Solanke had an okay game. I think. It's just once you get that first goal, then everything seems to be better.
Yeah.
Get flowing.
Well,
Before you go on to the Bournemouth
Yeah.
game, I wanted to mention there's a couple of things. Graham Arnold,
yes.
he
Socceroos.
coach resigned. He had some thinking to do after the 0-0 away at Indonesia, and he informed the football. Well, the federation is called Football Australia. CEO James Johnson that he was ran out of gas and he was tired.
Wow.
And he's been the longest serving Socceroos coach for Australia for 6 years. I think those 6 years have flown by because I didn't realise he was there for that long. But he's always been involved. He's always had his fingers in the Socceroos pie. Yeah. He's coached the Olympic squad, and then he was coaching Sydney FC, and then he's come in and out. And I think he used to coach the Central Coast Mariners.
Okay.
As well, and he hasn't been my favourite coach, but he has been involved in the game for 40 years. So what he brings experience and the knowledge of the Australian game, which a lot of people like to dismiss and stuff like that. But I think it is important to know how the game in Australia, rather than just someone from overseas. I guess the only exception was Gus Hiddink, when he took Australia to the World Cup. And he's tired, and he could have been selfish. He could have said, look, I'm going to, just... Because Australia have 8 games left in the third phase.
Okay.
So it's gone through phases. So we're in the third phase of the Asian Cup / World Cup qualification. It's a really long process, actually. This is... So our next game is against China, and that's in about 19 days' time. So... So James,
So what was weighing him down? If he's quit halfway through a tournament, that's a lot.
I think you've been in a job for 6 years. If you've been in your job for 6 years non-stop, I mean, I'm weighed down. I've been in my job for a few months. I think
it's something that you're meant to be there to enjoy. It's not football.
Yeah, and he does, and I guess that's the other thing. When you run out of gas, and you also start to not enjoy it,
I suppose.
So I think there's enough time. There's still 8 games left. We've only got one. Australia have only got 1 point from a possible 6, and we're second from bottom in the group, but there's still plenty of games to go.
Okay.
Right, and so we've got China, which they play in Adelaide in I was going to say 3 weeks' time. Is under 3 weeks now.
Yep.
But yes, it's an opportunity for someone to come in. He was asked by the press whether it's going to be an interim coach, and then I'm in an ahhing about trying to get the permanent coach in. But James said, no, we're going to appoint a permanent coach. And of course, names start circulating, and is it going to be this? Is it going to be that?
Klopp?
Sorry,
Jurgen Klopp?
No. There's a couple of names.
Arsene Wenger.
Sure. Tony Popovic.
Oh, the well-known.
Eh?
I don't know. I've never heard of him.
Tony Popovic. He used to manage Western Sydney Wanderers.
Okay.
He won the Asian Champions League with them. Ooh. Also, Kevin Muscat, who's managing in Japan at the moment.
Okay.
They're the 2 names that have been put forward by the press. It's not necessarily going to be an Australian appointment, but I think, you know what? I think it is. You heard it here first. I reckon it's either Tony or Kevin.
Yeah.
So they are going to see if they can get, I reckon, either one of those. Only because they know the game, they know the Australian game. Yeah.
But is it I don't know, the Australian game? What's the difference between the Australian game and
massive difference? The structure, how the teams work, having knowledge of the National Premier League, the New South Wales Premier League.
Football in general
is football in general, but you need to know, how to go around and how to approach.
Diplomatic, is it the diplomatic part of it?
No, it's the same everywhere, really, isn't it? But I think knowing player development and what's going to work for you if you get someone completely from outside. So anyway, so like you say, it's a local game, it's a global game, so I think they're just going to try and...
Yeah.
But I reckon they have someone in mind already, because
Maybe
you'd be
that's why he
foolish
left.
if you didn't.
Yeah,
So,
maybe that's
it's
why
like
he
with-
left.
Sorry?
Maybe that's why he's left because
No.
No?
It was his decision. It wasn't
Okay.
any pressure from. I mean, look, Graham's a great coach, but when you run out of gas, you run out of gas.
yeah,
And if there's no service station nearby, then you're going to say come to a standstill. So yes, so we'll see what happens. Watch the space. Find out.
Okay.
We'll find out who's going to be the next Socceroos, or they say sorry, the Subway Socceroos coach. They always put the sponsor in there, don't they? But which we'll have to do. They pay good money, So I was going to try and make a foot-long joke about something, but it's not working out. So, yes, I want to sneak that in there. Otherwise, it's 3 Premier League games in a row reviewing, and it can get a bit still. Go for it. Bournemouth.
versus Chelsea, we lost.
We.
Yeah, we.
Well, Arsenal, we, or Bournemouth, we.
Everyone. Yeah.
He is an Arsenal fan. You know that.
Yeah.
He was wearing that shirt last week.
But the
Okay.
thing with that is,
Yeah.
we spoke about this and we said
spoke about this.
last week, and
No word of a lie.
no word of a lie. Don't look back. That we thought Chelsea were going to win it anyway. There was no mucking around because we said, look, you can't muck around.
You thought that Chelsea were going to win it because I thought we were going to draw.
Yeah, no, I thought Chelsea were going to win it because just you can't because basically you can't muck around with teams like Chelsea. You can't muck around with top division teams. We were taking like a half to get into the game, but I'm going to be honest, they seemed quite attacking from
Bournemouth played well.
Yeah.
Which is unusual from the first half.
From the get go.
From the get-go. What's going on with Bournemouth? Why
Maybe
are they
they've
doing
woken
this?
up. Maybe everything has gelled.
Gelled?
Yeah, come together.
Well, you don't use gel, do you?
There's no need to be like that, man. No need to be like that. I'm going to grow a comb over, right?
For Bobby Charlton.
Then just go. Yeah.
Oh dear.
So yeah, it might have been that time. Might have been that time that they've. But there's
You play well, you don't win. You don't play well, you win. I mean, that's just football.
yeah, but it was again. How what I'm like for having a go at teams. I was like, oh well, they were boring at this. They were doing that. Yeah, again, it was a great game. It was a great game to watch.
Yeah.
There was a bit of controversy.
No way.
Suspense.
No way. What happened?
How many yellow cards?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
How many? I know how many.
I'm
Come
just
on.
trying to
14.
work out in my head.
14.
Yeah, 8 and 6. I was trying to work out in my head.
Yes, 8 to Chelsea,
Yeah.
6 to Bournemouth,
Yeah.
and there's talk of what?
So the referee's been slightly suspended for the next game, hasn't he, or something
Good.
like that?
It was his fault that he had so many yellow cards.
Yeah. He was just giving them out. Do you want to come to my party? Here's a yellow card. Do you want to come to my party? Oh, I like you. You've just come from Brazil, right? But how I saw it was there was a couple of offences that the ref was a bit hasty on giving the yellow card, but there was Chelsea players coming up, getting into his face, and he just went, look, mate, go away.
Get away from me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd do the same if I was a referee and they start mouthing off at me.
Yeah.
I think there is isn't there a rule that you're supposed to have there's supposed to be a space.
I don't
You're
know
not
if there's
supposed
an
to go into the referee's personal
Yeah.
space. I might be wrong. Answers on a postcard. I think there is a rule. Now,
Yeah.
whether it's the Premier League or a different league, that you're not allowed to be within the referee's space. Otherwise, you are in danger, the referee's discretion, of getting a yellow card. So maybe that's what's happened. I haven't actually seen that game. I've seen the other 2 games, but I haven't seen. Shame on me. But yes, so 8 and 6. I think the answer is straightforward. They were just trying to copy the Gibraltar versus Liechtenstein the previous week, where they got 14 yellow cards plus a red card.
Yeah.
They said, we can do better. They just missed out on that red card.
No, well, it could. I genuinely feel there should have been a red card
For who?
for Chelsea. The goalkeeper should have been sent off.
Okay. Sanchez. Sanchez. He's
I can't remember anyone.
He saved a penalty,
Yeah,
didn't he?
he did. It
Look,
was great.
I must say, it wasn't a very good penalty. It wasn't.
No.
Look, when people say you miss a penalty, in order to miss a penalty, it's got to be outside the box. So Evanilson didn't miss the penalty; he's just got
It was on
saved.
target.
It was on target.
Yeah.
So it got saved. But I was looking at it, and I'm not lying when I say I didn't watch the match. I saw a tiny bit, and I saw like maybe a minute or two, and I saw the penalty, and it wasn't very well taken. It was you could read where he was gonna shoot that ball. It was so innocent. So yeah, Andoni lo que tiene que hacer es que practique más los penaltis. Evanilson o Kluivert o Sinisterra tiene que practicar más. Engañar al portero, por favor. Y así marcamos.
Yeah, he should have scored.
Should have scored. So, so yeah, that was the message for Andoni. So yeah,
He was the last man, though. The goalkeeper was the last man. So that's why I always thought he should have been sent off because
it
wasn't an indirect.
Look, if he was outside the box and he had obstructed Evanilson's path, maybe he would have been out.
I thought he did.
Yeah, it's how they read it, isn't it? But you're right. I guess, yeah. Normally it's a yellow card and a penalty. For a red card, it has to be an absolute blatant foul, like when Neto was grabbed by the neck. I still can't understand why that wasn't a red card.
Yeah.
Because that player already had a yellow, I think. No, he got a yellow for it, but it should have been a direct red. We're talking about the Bournemouth Newcastle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's just before Neto went to Arsenal.
Was it?
Yeah. So interesting game.
And their sub came on and smashed it in the back of the net.
Another sub.
85th minute.
Nkuku.
Yeah.
How do you say his name? Nkuku.
Oh, I don't know. I can't. Nkuku.
Nkuku. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably first cousin of Stefan. Efana Kuku.
Yeah. So, an interesting
did you see
game.
the celebration?
No, I didn't.
Blue balloon.
Did he? What does that mean?
His son likes balloons. So he did a balloon blowing celebration. I thought it's the first one I've ever seen. That's the highlight of the whole game. The balloon celebration.
Don't get it.
Yeah. No, his son likes balloons, so maybe he said, if I score a goal, I'll blow you a balloon.
Or was it he was just saying, look, I'm going to do the laughing gas with the balloons afterwards? And then talks like this. Or was that helium? But that was it, mate. That was the games I watched, and quite frankly, I actually had fun watching them. I've said in the past where I watch the games and I'm just, can't be.
Do I have to do this?
Yeah, these were enjoyable games. Absolutely, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. No. I think it was just ironic. It was a late kickoff as well, wasn't it? It was 8 p.m. in England.
Was it? Okay.
Yes. So it would have been a 5 a.m. in Sydney, Australia. So yeah, most of these games are crazy hours. You know, they've got the Liverpool Bournemouth game happening on the weekend. Yeah. It's a midnight kickoff, and then you've got later games, and man, it's just it's tough being a fan overseas,
Yeah.
But it's even tougher being a fan and going to Cheers Bar and being there, flying the flag, and being in amongst the Lions' Den. Say, for example, tonight, Liverpool.
Yeah.
How many Bournemouth fans will turn up? We don't know. But you love your club, you make your sacrifices, get out there, show the Bournemouth brand, and see what happens, and then get mugged by. No, just kidding. I remember the 4-3. The Bournemouth when Bournemouth beat Liverpool 4-3.
Yeah,
this was, I think it was before COVID when we still had Ake and stuff. I was the only Bournemouth fan at Cheers Bar. It would have been a midnight kickoff, and I was wearing my Bournemouth top, and
You didn't cover it up.
No, I didn't. No.
Okay.
I feel safe at Cheers Bar. Like there's decent people there. Very respectable. And we went. I think it was 2-0, 2-1, 3-1 down. And some of the Liverpool supporters says, "Oh, look, we need the points. Yeah, don't worry about it. Good luck for the rest of the season." This was, and I just, I don't react. I don't say, "Wow, what are you talking about?" And then.
Especially when you're on your own.
Well, I was on my own. Then it was 3-2.
Yeah.
And then Steve Cook. Steve Cook scores that goal to make it 3-3, and he had his back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And he had this thing, and then he somehow twisted and turned. He lifted the ball, twisted and turned, and then put it in the back of the net to make it 3-3. I'm thinking, wow, that's an amazing... that's still an incredible goal by Steve Cook from Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And then Nathan Ake was just went mental. As soon as Bournemouth scored that fourth goal, I was out of there. I wasn't waiting for the final whistle. I'm thinking...
That was like me at, Boca Juniors. Literally, it was 10 minutes ago. I'm out. I'm gone. Need no hassle there.
But did Boca win?
Oh, yeah. No, they lost. Sorry, that's a lie. Sorry, mate. They lost. So we literally said, we're out of here. 10 minutes to go. We need to get on the highway and get out. Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah, just.
Yeah,
but I suppose for you, if you're the only fan there, I would have just gone, oh, is that the time? Right, let's just look over there. And Scarpa.
Yeah. So that's some memories of. That's probably the most memorable one. I do remember another Bournemouth game. This one, which was played at Anfield, Liverpool versus Bournemouth, is the first game where Tommy Elphick had a goal disallowed. The old captain of AFC Bournemouth, where he leapfrog. Well, he didn't leapfrog, but he just jumped and he just happened to put his hands on the Liverpool defender and he headed it in. But it was disallowed for a foul on the Liverpool defender. I'm thinking, I don't think so. And we lost that 1-0. And then another one was when we drew 2-2. I think Josh King scored 2 goals. And that would have been the 2016-17 season, maybe our second or third season. I can't remember exactly when, but that's the only time we've ever scored, got points at Liverpool. So let's see what happens today. I think Bournemouth are playing really, really well, and I think all Bournemouth are actually going to be wearing the away top. It's a shame it's not light blue.
Yeah,
like Nottingham Forest. Otherwise, it's a guaranteed win. But
well, there's other news with Liverpool as well, isn't there? Well, not so much Liverpool, but they've got.
Is there?
Yeah, well, they've got like 7 games in 21 days over 3 cups. Now, admittedly, the last game it was against Inter and they won. Obviously, the previous game before that was Forest and they lost. So hopefully, they're going to be a little bit tired.
Hopefully. But you and I were talking last night, just going through some stuff, and you said they've got 21 games in 7 days. And I'm thinking, how is that even possible?
Easy. 3, but yeah. So it's a lot, mate. It's a lot to go through. Yeah, they're professionals. They've got they've got a big squad like every top team, but we shall see. I was watching the press conferences. I don't normally do it because I just think, why? And I was right.
You were right. Did it send you to sleep? Maybe I should watch some.
I was watching it, and I'll be honest with you. It's how I look at it. It's the same repetitive stuff.
Yeah. Well, you've got different reporters that come in with their questions.
Yes.
And depending who goes first, you'll be like, oh, great, Bob Smith already asked those. He's crossing these off. So
On.
Then you reduce. If you're the last person to ask questions, you've probably got no questions left.
Yeah.
Because it's already been asked. So they're thinking, oh, I'm here. I might as well ask the same question.
Arn, what's your shopping list for this week? Well, the milk's gone up, hasn't it? But the normal questions are, how do you feel this week? How do you think Liverpool are going to play? Bournemouth, how do you think Bournemouth's going to play? Because I watched both of them.
Is Tyler Adams still unavailable?
Yeah, it's all of those
Same
questions.
question, same answer all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Tyler. Get well soon, Tyler. Get back and show us what you can do. This is a message to the USA. Tyler Adams, get back on the pitch. Get some goals. Score a goal for Bournemouth like you did against Mexico. That was a cracking shot from outside the box when he scored for the USA. I'm thinking, wow, we've got this guy, and then the next thing you hear, his back's gone again. Anyway, look, I'm looking forward to it. I bet Leeds fans are laughing their heads off, but I think Bournemouth will have the last laugh, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, hopefully. I don't know. But I tell you what I did like was the Liverpool manager, Arnie. Yeah. He was really positive towards, nowadays everyone's got to be PC and, the team's good. It seemed very nice and friendly and very positive towards the Bournemouth squad, the gaffer.
It was positive.
Yeah.
So a lot of pundits say, it's because, Liverpool weren't playing well, as opposed to, no, it was actually Forest deserved to win.
Yeah.
For the way they played. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever Bournemouth wins, it's because the other team didn't play as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's they never give Bournemouth that, or the smaller teams, the credit that they deserve. So I think, like you're saying, if the Liverpool managers gave credit to the other team.
You could see in the face.
Oh, he gave credit to Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, sorry, mate. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he gave credit to Bournemouth.
In the presser, of course, yeah.
But you could see in his face, it wasn't the fact of, Bournemouth are doing really well. You could see he goes, no, they're I like what Andoni's doing. I like the squad. And it was good to see. You could see the facial expressions.
Genuine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Anything else on that game? So we've covered the Sanchez penalty save and...
we got a couple of lads out, Bournemouth have, but...
Yeah.
Nothing.
You know what really annoys me about these press conferences is that the microphone setup is really bad. So the people asking the questions, you can hardly hear what they're saying.
Yes, yeah.
And you would have thought, why don't you just pass the microphone?
Or they walk up to a podium.
Yeah, exactly right. But it's not just Bournemouth. It's like pretty much every...
Yeah.
You'd think with the technology they have these days, that at least pass the microphone to someone to ask the next question. I mean, how hard is that?
Well, UFC, they when I'm watching like the post or pre, normally the post interviews, they'll be saying to Dana White, they'll go, Dana, over here, like that. And of course, then he's going, and then you hear like, they do this, you hear like, during the match, or during the fight, you hear that, this like, and then someone passes them the mic. But then sometimes they did have a booth at one point. But yeah,
I think either works. Yeah. So probably the booth is, what you have to do. You have to step up to the microphone and not ask questions like this.
Yeah.
But just come up to, it's called the microphone etiquette, or the,
Never heard of that.
Well, I'm a singer-songwriter, and so basically when you perform live at open mic gigs and stuff like that, you need to know that you have
a distance.
Yeah. If you're going to do this nice, really high-pitched thing, and you go back, so you're not singing the 2 octaves higher at the same distance as singing a normal thing. So you've got this whole knowledge of how to use the microphone. One most important thing is you don't hang on to it like you did.
Mate, do you know
he
what?
He does that all the time.
It's not
hangs onto it. Said, "No one's taking my microphone away."
It's just how I feel comfortable. But I know that because I've done a bit of studio work and what have you. But I know with these mics, right? And there's a reason why I said that, and I'll get to it in a second. I can't work these out. What type of mic? I should look them up. What they are, because these are the Rode mics. Because I'm used to SM58s.
Yes.
And the reason why
That's
I said
the industry standard for a long time. Yep.
The reason why I say about the studio work, because I remember people getting told off when I was getting taught because they would hold the mic, and what would happen because of
the actual sponge bit.
Well, just the actual. Well, I've got the SMs over there. Normally there's around the pickup on the mics, right? See, like, studio secrets here, right? But these are a bit different, these mics.
Doesn't fit.
And when you hold on to them, it gives feedback. And because the sound is coming back in. Yeah. It's one of those things you didn't do. Anyway. Talking, can I...
You can keep talking if you want to.
1 2 1 2. You say that about mic etiquettes. So, Travelling Wilburys.
Is that a band?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like one of the first like super groups as such, because you had like Roy Orbison, Tom Petty, George Harrison, and a few others, right?
Harrison.
In these bands, and they actually said they'd go into the studio and they'd have Roy Orbison. And at the start, I always go, right, talk loudly into the mic. We'll get the levels right.
The levels up. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So they'd say, right, they'd get Roy Orbison.
Can you hear this? Yeah. Okay.
1 2 1 2 1 2. Check. They'll get Roy Orbison in and they go, right, okay, start talking, and then it'd just be like 1 2 1 2 check 1. Start singing, well, maybe like that, and then they go, okay, we got the levels right. Ready? 1 2 3 go. This right, and of course
You did that on purpose. Come on, you did that on purpose.
His voice was that powerful. They said we used to do it every time. Every time he'd be like, he'd start singing, but it'd be very peaceful. But then when he kicked in with the guitar, that's it. It's just there was like another level.
Yeah. Talking about another level and continuing on from AFC Bournemouth, there's news this week that Bill Foley is at it again. He's gone shopping again. He's gone to the supermarket. He's gone to the football supermarket. He said, yes, I've got a Bournemouth, I've got a Hibernian, I've got a Lyon, I have Auckland FC. Oh, that looks nice, a Casa Pia. I'm going to get Casa Pia. And I'm thinking, Casa what?
I thought when you said Casa Pia, I genuinely thought it was a flying license.
Casa in Spain is the is the similar to the BAA.
Yeah.
With the Spanish version, BA British Airways, British Airport.
Yeah.
CASA is the firm that makes planes for the Spanish Royal Air Force or Spanish Air Force. Casa Pia is a Portuguese side that's only ever been in the top flight 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah.
This current stint, this is their 3rd season in the top flight of the Portuguese league.
Okay.
They need some money. They want to do more with less, according to Tiago Lopes, who is the CEO of Casa Pia. Basically, Casa Pia is a Lisbon-based team that was founded in 1921, so that's just me moving. And they've mostly been in the 2nd or 3rd division of the Portuguese league. They haven't really been in the top flight for that much. And basically, Tiago was at the Thinking Football Summit not too long ago. I think it was about a week or 2 weeks ago. And he wants to cement the club's place in Portuguese football. So their current ground, which is called the Pinamanique, is pretty much, it looks like a training ground. It's hardly a stadium at all. So what they're doing is that they're developing that, and at the moment they've gone to the Estadio Municipal de Rio Mayor.
Okay.
Rio Mayor is an athletics track stadium. There was, again, in order to get their ground developed, they had to go to this other stadium, but there had to be work done to the temporary stadium. For example, the lighting wasn't adequate, because, top league in the Portuguese league, top club in the top Portuguese division. So there are standards. So they had to upgrade all these things first. They can go to the Estadio Mayor, Rio Mayor. And so they're undergoing some renovations there. The current stadium, the temporary stadium, is about 6,500 people. So it's not that big at all.
Yeah, okay.
It's a very, very small tier athletics track type stadium. Okay. Bill's... It fits Bill's strategy perfectly, because it's taking clubs from where they're at and building them up to and put a bit of investment and improve facilities, improve the mentality, the player recruitment, and stuff like that. Why Portugal is a good question. I thought that with Andoni in place, I thought they were going to maybe focus on Spain.
Okay.
I guess the fact that this club, Casa Pia, is a great opportunity to build something with relatively, not too many. It's not going to be hundreds of millions of pounds.
Yeah.
But it's going to be something that they can improve something over time. And so they're currently mid-table. They've only played 6 games. And
Some water.
sorry, I've got some water. Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
They're mid-table. This is their 3rd season.
Yeah.
I get
their
it.
third
This
ever.
is their third. No, this is their 3rd season in the top flight in a row. I think they've been 1 season in the top flight before, in the mid 2000s. So it's wait and see. It's not. I don't think it's going to be a total takeover.
Okay.
I think it'll be another thing like a 25% or 38%. That kind of thing. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but at the moment that's what it looks like. And the great thing about Portuguese club is their strong links to mainly Brazil.
Yep.
But also they also have a couple of Angolan players as well. So there are some links to Africa because Angola being a former Portuguese colony,
I didn't know that.
and Mozambique as well. But they've got a couple of Angolan players. African football, is potential. So wait and see. I would have hoped that Bill would make an investment at my Spanish club, Real Club Deportivo Espanyol, which is that club there,
2 secs.
owned by a Chinese Mr. Chen, Yang Shen, who is hoping to sell. This is for you, Bill, if you want to invest in Espanyol de Barcelona. The stadium's already built, so there's nothing to do there. I think Chen wants to sell 100% of the club at the right price. But I understand your interest in Casa Pia. It makes complete sense. It's probably a smarter way to invest. Espanyol won't be cheap, and so the links to Brazil and Africa are there.
But
I
they
think
profitable
Sorry?
links.
Well, I don't know how much Portuguese clubs receive for television rights in the Portuguese league, so it wouldn't be anywhere near as the Premier League. Probably not even 10%.
Yeah.
But in line with the strategy of building clubs up and improving them, the whole player movement between clubs, just like what they
Feeder
did with
clubs.
Coulson. Sorry?
Feeder clubs.
Feeder clubs, but I think it has to be 2 way. It can't be 1 way. It can't not everything has to go into Bournemouth. There's got to be some advantages and win-wins. So I was expecting Bournemouth players to go to Lorient, but nothing's happened so far. So it's maybe it's still a work in progress. Maybe it's that getting it to that spot where they can do that.
Okay.
But touching on Casa Pia, Lorient, Hibs won their first game.
Okay. Whoa.
Yoo-hoo!
What's that? 4, 5?
I think that was the 5th game.
5th?
They lost.
Wow.
Yeah, they lost against Celtic, and they drew a couple of games, and then I think it's the 5th game. They beat St. Johnstone. So a goal before the end of the first half.
Okay, yeah.
And another one by Boyle in the second half. Boyle's the Australian player. So it's things are looking up, I think.
Where are they now?
Sorry?
Where are they now in the
league? They are lower middle table.
Yeah.
Aberdeen and Celtic are still on 15 points each. Aberdeen's having a great season so far, but early days.
Where's Rangers?
Rangers are not doing well at all.
Wow.
They're probably in a similar position to Hibs. I think they're even lower.
Wow.
So, Hearts, by the way. Hearts of Midlothian are on 1 point.
Are they?
Sorry, I'm laughing. It's the rival club of Hibs. Hearts is also Edinburgh based. So,
Wow.
Yeah, so but I think with the maybe with the combination of the Ian Gordon, the owner, coming out and just being open and transparent about what's going on and stuff, and also winning, maybe people thinking okay, and actually the team didn't play too badly. They actually played a decent game of football this time, so it didn't look as disjointed as
Okay.
it had been the first few games of the season. So happy for Hibs. I went and put a comment on the Long Bangers podcast, which is Hibernian podcast, saying, "Good to see you guys smile for a change." So, but yeah, look, we'll see. The next game is not until a couple of weeks, so we actually play Rangers at Ibrox.
Ooh.
Yeah, early kickoff, by the way. So 9:00 Sydney time. So let's see if we can maybe watch the game at Cheers Bar.
What, 9?
9:00.
AM? Yeah.
Sunday,
Sounds stupid.
29th of September. 9:00 though, not too bad.
AM or PM? Sounds stupid. Sorry, mate.
9:00 p.m.
I was going,
His brain going
mate,
just
yeah.
like last week. Matt's brain.
do you know what? This is no word of a lie,
No word of a lie.
right? I've had loads of sleep. Well, actually, this morning I woke up at 5:45, actually. But I've had loads of sleep. But I think because of the week that I've had, my brains are just a bit dull.
Dull.
Dull. It must be something I've been eating all
You
drinking.
didn't go to Allah Dull.
Allah duller. I went past it, actually.
Went past
through
it. You should actually check out just before Aladullah. This is a town on the south coast of it's just south of Wollongong, really. We've got Mollymook, and they've got the Rainbow Pie Shop. Mollymook is north of Aladullah, and there's a fantastic pie shop there.
Just trying to think of where that is.
I thought I had to bring some food, and we haven't talked about food yet. I've got a German mate in Stuttgart who says you should be doing cooking. To cook some German meatballs during the podcast, and I'm thinking, well, send me the recipe.
Tan keeps telling me that you should do something like to do with cooking.
I said, Ralph, I mentioned the German meatballs. We could probably eat them on the podcast. Maybe you could talk, and I'll be munching away, and then
Or we just talk and eat at the same time.
talk and eat. But then
I don't know.
oh, mate. But yeah, I whenever. I used to. I don't go very often now, but whenever I used to do any trips to country New South Wales and towns, always check out the pie shops, the bakeries, and sometimes you find some really interesting stuff there, and some unusual combination chicken and apricot pie and things like that. I'm thinking, that's a bit too much, but maybe this other one will.
Marmite and Vegemite sandwiches.
Oh my gosh, what, both combined? Marmite on one side, Vegemite.
Put them together, and you've got to work out. And then what you do, you just keep flipping them up, or do it behind your back, and then go, right, which is Vegemite, which is.
That's easy. The salty one is Marmite.
Is it?
Yeah,
I don't like either.
Hey?
Don't like either.
No. Okay.
No.
I do like the New Zealand Marmite. New Zealand Marmite by Sanitarium brand. It is completely different.
What's the difference?
It is completely different. I mean, not completely different, but completely different. I remember having New Zealand Marmite, and I went, wow, it's obviously got a little bit of sugar in it.
Ah.
But it's still Marmite, but it's like, this tastes different.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is awesome. And I could have probably a bit of a thicker spread. You know how you've been very careful with Marmite. I tell you what, I've got to tell you a story. This is amazing. I used to know a bunch of Haitian people that lived in England in the 80s. And we were sat at the table, and there used to be chocolate spread.
Okay, right. Yeah, chocolate spread.
And but there was also Marmite, and they just came from Haiti. And they were there for a few months and stuff. Anyway, one day, this guy called Diogène, we're watching him. He has this toaster stuff, and he's dipping his knife into the Marmite thing, and he's spreading it like it's as if it's chocolate spread. No one said a word. No one said a word. We were just watching him in disbelief. And then he grabs his toast and he takes his bite, and then he had the most
cruel.
disgusted thing. I mean, we were just
Cruel.
It was cruel, but it was the most amazing thing because he had no idea what Marmite was, thinking it was chocolate spread, and we said we can't let this moment go. But anyway,
I did that to a mate last week at a pub quiz, and we sent him up because we were doing like music bingo, and you had to get 2 lines in this because the first round was like get 1 line down of whatever, cross them off in bingo. Next one was 2 lines to win a prize, and of course, Juan went, I've won, I've got 1 line, and of course then I instantly went, go up. Go up like this, and of course Johnny's like, no, you've only got 1 line. I said,
shut up.
Go up. Right? And there was people around going, no, you've got 1 line. And I'm looking around going, go up. Right? And of course you could see them just looking side to side, and I go, shut up. Right? Sent him up, and he had to wear a turkey hat because he mucked up. He actually was on stage, and he's like, and they're like, get here now. You put this turkey hat on.
Oh, turkey. I thought you actually meant a real turkey.
It's like the scene out of Friends. Joey's got the chicken on his head, or the turkey, just going.
I knew I saw that somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
Sorry to just. Yeah, it was. That was something that was too good to miss. Anyway, yeah. Well, it's great to bring some food into it. A bit of food, a bit of travel.
Actually, I wanted to ask you something about when you used to go travelling with the police.
Oh yeah,
right. You used to try and what was it? You went out to Port Macquarie. You used to try and rope in a couple of days, didn't you?
I may have done.
Allegedly. Allegedly. But then it's nothing I haven't done. It's nothing I.
No, it's a bit further than that. So
I
used to teach intranet publishing. So. But yeah, you don't want to be driving up there, set up, and sometimes you have to drive up. Then it takes 6 hours to get to Coffs Harbour. So you've got to set up one night, and stuff, and then you teach. And this what I used to teach was intranet publishing. It's a 4-hour course because you've got this, all these exercises and stuff like that. And then because we draw people from different regions of around Coffs Harbour. Was because then people want to, after the training, then they want to show you what they're working on, and then you don't know how long that's going to take.
Yeah.
So I always say 2 nights. Always book 2 nights. That way you can give people the value because they've taken a day out of their schedule, and then you can sit with them and advise them on certain things, and this will work better for that and stuff like that. Because there'll be a lot of internet page publishers that would want to have all the latest and fanciest things, and I'm thinking that's all very well, but when you move on and you've got someone else comes into the job and doesn't know how to modify that because you were wanting to make your page the best looking page out of the whole police force, then it'll get out of date really quickly, and also people won't know how to change it and update it. So stick to the basics.
Yeah, but like any company, where they expect you to leave at say 5 a.m, 6, go up there, set up, do it, and then stay over and then come back the next day.
Most companies would want you to do that, but I'm thinking, well, the human toll, driving, concentration.
Yeah.
And then they tell you, make sure you rest. Anyway.
How much was that hotel?
Actually, towards the end it was Airbnbs, and I'm thinking, no, I'm not booking a motel. They're those divers. Yeah, it was crazy, horrible looking places, some of the motels.
I stayed, mate. So this job that I'm in now, great job, by the way, if anyone's watching, love it.
Yep.
No, I do. No, honestly, I actually do.
You rave about it. And
I do enjoy it.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I do enjoy the company. They're all right. But they put me, before I had a company credit card, they put me in like some sort of like halfway home that you had to share a bathroom and a toilet, and a shower and a toilet.
This is a football podcast, but
I know.
We sort of veered off quite a bit. Anyway, bring it. Yep.
I was disgusted.
Yeah.
I was like, I am never doing this again.
I
had to have a shower in the gym because there was a queue for the shower. I'm not in a hostel. I'm not hostiling. Do you know what I mean? I'm not doing this. I think if I was hostiling,
If you're about in your 20s, you'd probably still.
yeah,
You know,
I was
but
like,
anyway.
like this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I was going to mention before I forget. This weekend in Chicago. See, I'll say that again.
Chicago.
This weekend in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's the NBC Fan Fest. It's the Premier League mornings in the United States, and they do these things once every. I might be wrong here. Maybe 3 to 4 months. I think
Yep,
2 or
okay.
3 times a season. The last one was at Nashville. I think Reg spoke about the Fan Fest in Nashville, and they got one in Chicago. So by the time this comes out, it would already be finished. But it's a great gathering of pretty much Premier League fans.
Yeah.
They come from all way around the United States of America and Canada and Barbados, and they meet up at freezing cold temperatures sometimes in the morning. Mind you, let me see, it's September, Chicago. I mean, they call it the Windy City, but I guess it will be. It still should be okay. Being mid-September, to
Okay.
end of September, it shouldn't be too cold. They just basically a carnival atmosphere. Fans meet up. They all take their pictures and stuff like that. So we've got the North American Cherries overseas supporters called N.A.C.H.O.S. Shout out to N.A.C.H.O.S and all the US supporter groups that are meeting up for AFC Bournemouth at the Premier League mornings for NBC Fan Fest in Chicago. So I hope you have a great time. Or that you had a great time by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
I'd love to see something similar in Australia. Optus Sport. The onus is on you. Maybe do something similar to NBC and get all the Premier League fans together, probably at Cheers Bar or something, or somewhere. Even your studios, and get something happening. Once or twice a year, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds a good idea. Yeah. I like that.
Why not? They used to have something where you go in with your shirt and chat and stuff like that, but I think there should be something a bit more festive, more gathering thing rather than just being in the studio. So there'll be something. Maybe we'll throw it out there and see what other people think. But yeah.
Okay, mate. Yeah.
So we. For the first game of the season, maybe. For the Auckland game, maybe. Press pass.
Yes.
I think we, because we're showing consistency in the podcast and we're reporting on several things, and also covering Auckland FC, we are going to see if we can get a report on some of the ALeague games.
Yeah. It's not a bad shout.
It's a bad shout.
Well, I brought this up, didn't I?
Sorry?
I brought this up. I was like, if we're going to do some sort of like...
reporting
Yeah,
and
on
interviewing,
this.
this
Yeah.
is what we want to do. We want to interview fans. And that's what I said to you, I said, let's the first game of the season, the Sydney Derby, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect scene to know what equipment to take, what to use. I mean, look, it's I'd love to do this live element, and get some fans' views, not just Glenn, but just both sides.
Because my view was getting in for free.
Well, we've already bought the ticket, haven't we, for the Sydney Derby? But I think it's worth a try. And look, the more we do this, like we said on the first episode, the better we get.
Yeah. But I had another idea.
Your knowledge has just gone skyrocketing.
Do you know what? It's got me back into watching football again and getting through it. It's just getting to know the rest of the teams. That's what it is.
It takes a while.
Yeah. I'm still really getting used to most of the teams. I can't tell you who's in the Liverpool squad. I can't tell you who's in the Forest squad.
No, I've never been a starting 11, name your perfect 11 team. For any team I've followed, I've never...
Years ago I did.
Really?
Yeah, years ago. My brother...
I could tell you the names of the stadiums.
Yeah.
But the players, they're always changing anyway, so...
My brother was well on it. He could tell you the capacity. He could genuinely take...
Yeah, but the capacity's not always changing, is it? The players are.
No, but then when you know every, stadium in the whole football leagues. It was just like, what is he, Rain Man?
Yeah. Actually, I'm hoping to get on here
Yeah.
a Dutch guy called Mark Kuipers, who has visited over, I think it's over 1,000 stadiums. I think over 1,000 stadiums, of which a big percentage of it has been to actual games. I mean, that's an expensive hobby.
Just say 30 euros a ticket.
Yeah. But the stories you'd have
Yeah.
from going to different grounds and stuff, and the memories and experiences would be something I'd be fascinated to hear.
Yeah.
You know? And I know some people do grounds in Spain and stuff like that. This guy's been all over Europe, and probably even further afield. So yeah, I'd love to see if we can get him on and ask him what's the best stadium, what's the best this. You know, I mean, just tell us some stories. You know, did you ever feel threatened in certain? I mean, the stadiums would have all sorts of different experiences, and depending what games you go and watch, especially derby games and things like that.
Yeah, of that. Yeah, I'd be walking in going, it's not like Wembley.
I prefer the smaller stadiums.
Do you? Yeah. Well, the atmospheres.
Not just the atmospheres, but the quirkiness.
Okay.
For example,
The older ones, yeah.
Oh yeah, but even the ones like the Memorial Ground in Bristol Rovers. I mean, that was a cool visit to that stadium 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I preferred it to the Etihad. The Etihad, the Man City one. Okay, yeah, it's big and impressive, but it didn't do anything for me. Whereas the Memorial Ground, Bristol Rovers Stadium, was like, this is more fun. You had painting murals on the sides of some of the stands whilst you're inside the stadium and things like that. You know, which you wouldn't see. It'd be you know, it's too trim and proper at the Etihad. You know, but impersonal.
Didn't they say that with West Ham? Didn't West Ham get who moved into the Olympic Stadium? It wasn't
West Ham.
It was West Ham, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
the London Stadium. Yeah.
And they said, didn't they? They go because there was a track. They said the supporters are too far away from the pitch.
Yeah, we mentioned that a couple of episodes ago. Yeah. Yeah, so I said you bring your opera glasses and your binoculars to the London Stadium. So yeah, talking about Premier League games, you got you got 6 out of 10 games correct.
Yep.
You predicted the correct results. I got 3, you got 6. I think the previous week it was the other way around. I got 6 and you got 3. So
you're normally more consistent.
Up, hey?
You're normally more consistent.
So we're going to have some fun and predict match day 5, Premier League.
I'm going to get my mug because this
Mr. Protein Shake.
Just literally, this is going to tell me it's the tea leaves.
Don't go that way. I don't like the whole tea leaves thing. Anyway.
Oh, is that a bug or a tea leaf?
You probably get no right there. None of them. All right, so we're going to do the 1x2. Remember the 1x2?
Yeah.
That 1 is a home win, 2 is an away win, and X is a draw.
Yep, go for it.
All right, so kicking off this match day 5 is West Ham United versus Chelsea.
Oh, yeah, mate. I reckon Chelsea are going to do that too. I reckon it's going to be an away win.
We're going to be an away win. Okay, I think it's going to be a draw, and you think it's an away win.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to give West Ham some credit here, but we'll see. Aston Villa at home versus Wolves. That's a Midland derby, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Villa, mate. Villa, they done well last week. So
they did. They beat Everton, didn't they?
Yeah, but then I never watched that game. But if Everton played as well as they did against Bournemouth, I'd be choked if I was them and they lost again. So the run they're on at the moment, I reckon it's going to be a home win.
A home win to Aston Villa. I think so too. Yeah, that's a 1. Fulham versus Newcastle.
I'll let you lead with that.
I think Newcastle are going to win that one.
Oh, I was thinking.
What do you think? I'm going to put my 2 down.
Yeah.
But I'll let you
ponder
on that
one. I'm going to go for a draw.
You're going to go for a draw?
Yeah.
Okay, Fulham and Newcastle draw. Leicester versus Everton. I think a Leicester win.
Do ya?
I think so.
I was going to say Everton.
Everton.
Yeah, and the reason why is just for the fact of they've lost a couple on the bounce.
Right, so I'm going to put my 1 in there.
Yeah, I'm going to
So
say loss.
You're going to say Everton?
Everton win, sorry. I'm going to say an Everton win.
Put a 2. Okay. Liverpool versus Bournemouth.
Oh, mate. That's tough.
Do you know what? Stuff it. I'm going to say Bournemouth win. I'm going to put Bournemouth 2. Why not? See if this will be a game where either Liverpool just come back and thrash Bournemouth 9-0 like they did when I was there 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I witnessed a historic game, 9-0. I left that game. I left it at 8-0. I went and got some curry and chips.
That was your highlight. That was
my highlight of the trip, the 6-hour trip up there, or 5 hours. Actually, is it 5? No, it takes longer to get to Liverpool than it does to Manchester because you have to go up past the Warwick services up. And then it takes another hour. Once you get to kind of close to Manchester, you've got to turn left. So it takes an extra hour. So that's a 6-hour trip. Curry and chips from the Chinese chip shop near. I love that. I even took a picture of it. It was just like, oh, this is the best chips. I should.
They were the best chips ever.
Okay, so I'm putting
I'm going to go draw.
Win. You're going to say a draw?
I'm going to go draw.
I think we're going to both be wrong, but anyway, that's Southampton versus Ipswich.
Ipswich.
Ipswich, yeah. Yeah, I was going to put 2 for Ipswich. We don't want Southampton to win, do we?
No.
Especially whilst the snake's there.
Because every week gets brought up, the snakes. Fork tongue.
All right, another London derby, Tottenham versus Brentford. I say Tottenham win, home win.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Solanke's first goal as well.
Yeah, I'll go with that, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah.
2, okay, so 1. Crystal Palace versus Manchester United.
Palace.
You reckon Palace?
I'm going to go Palace.
I wasn't this time. I was going to go for Manchester United.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why I'm doing that.
It's just a wild guess. But I'm
going
to say
put
Palace.
your wild guess down now, so you can't change it. I'm going to go for Manchester United win away. Brighton Hove Albion versus the Forest. Let me say that again. Let's get your reaction. Brighton and Hove Albion versus the Forest. Oh, that hurts so much. Why does it hurt so much? It's what you don't want to disappoint our good mate Glenn.
That's
that's the reason.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to put a Forest win. They're going to be riding the high from last week's win against Liverpool, and they said, well, if we can do it at Liverpool, we can do it at the Amex.
Well, Brighton are on the slide at the moment, but then I still think.
Are you saying that after they drew against Ipswich?
Yeah, I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for a draw. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's it. That's finished. Yeah. Well, we're going to bypass the Manchester City versus Arsenal. Is that a why bother?
Oh, no, that's not a
not
why
this
bother.
time, is
it? No. Let's put it this way. Depending on how Man City play, I'd say it's either going to be 2-1 either way, but I'm going to obviously go for Arsenal 2-1. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to go for an Arsenal win.
Yeah.
I'll put your 2 down. I don't think it's going to be a draw.
No.
I think Man City are going to spank you guys. Severely.
Do you?
Yeah, 4-0 to Man City.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're going to put on their best team. I'm going to say Man City home win against Arsenal. Is this the last podcast we're doing, mate? It's just like you're gonna say, "That's it, you're out of here."
Don't know.
Why not? I'm not gonna do boring predictions, but I think Man City at home. Well, the reason Pep's gonna say, let's mess them up psychologically. Let's really smash them.
Okay.
So they said, hands off our Premier League title.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I'll be saying. I said, look, just gonna and play dirty if we have to.
Because it would be I'd say it'd be the top teams that they've got to make the biggest impact on. isn't it? The biggest one's just
I'd want to smash Arsenal as much and hard and fast as possible, and then Arsenal would be like, I don't know. Man City, they've won 4 out of 4, haven't they?
Yeah. Excuse
Arsenal
me. Yeah.
have drawn
Yeah.
1. I think they're 2 points behind Man
Yeah.
City. So yeah, that's what my take is.
Cool.
We pretty much covered quite a lot, haven't we?
I'm happy with that.
I'm happy with that too. I didn't think I had much to talk about, and then thanks.
We always
to Bill.
say that.
Well, I think Bill Foley, when he went shopping for another football club, I think, that sounds interesting. Let's look into that.
Because that was the only thing you had to talk about.
Volcanic pit.
You've got the knowledge, mate. You got it there. It's just like you're like, oh yeah, this happened. And I'm like going, I don't know where that came from. I told you I have to write everything down. For me, this is how my brain's going. Onset of Alzheimer's, mate. But that's how my brain's going. I've got to write it all down.
Yeah, at least you can write. The kids these days are not very good at handwriting.
I'm 45.
I know.
I thought he was being really nice and sweet. Then I was like, behave. Yeah.
No worries. I'm going to put my Manzanares Club de Football
Can you
scarf
see that?
there. We'll put that there. This is when I talk about the I think it was the second team I ever followed after Bristol Rovers, Manzanares. Actually, Manzanares and Manchester. No, that doesn't sound similar.
Man.
Man's the only thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there. But that's the Black Eagle of the Larios gin factory that they had in Manzanares in the 1920s. So that was 100 years ago. It's amazing how time flies.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're good. And thank you for our listeners. Please do like and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 200 subscribers as we can. So do share the link to these podcasts and shorts. And if you want us to mention anything or talk about stuff, then just please leave a comment in the comment section below. We do love hearing from you, and we do answer most comments. And we're having fun here. So it's our 11th episode.
Yeah, 11 already, mate.
11.
Yeah.
11. There we go.
11.
Cool. See you next week.
Take care. See you later. Bye.
Bye.